Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for Saturday, April 5th, 2025. Before we get started, if you could, please give me a like, give me a subscribe or a follow. It really helps out the channel. And as a thank you, here's a sweet looking otter. Look at those cute little eyes and that cute little smile. All right, let's dive into these charts. All right. So not a lot has changed since yesterday. So this charting business may not take very long. You can adjust this bear flag just a wee bit to include where we came out of it there, just a wee bit. Move it down over here a little bit too. Something like that. We're still on that line, still on an uptrend, higher, still showing an uptrend as long as this bottom here can form and we can see some upside. Question is, will we? Well, we are in overbought territory here on the Stokes. I'm sorry, oversold territory here on the Stokes, and we are seeing the RSI finding a bottom and curling back to the upside. Now, it doesn't mean that it's, definitely going to go up. The signal line, this yellow line here on the RSI is above, excuse me, is above the RSI, which signals to us downward momentum. However, with the stochastics being in oversold territory, them popping out and starting their oscillation back up is quite likely, and that would take the RSI up. Now, what we need to see from the RSI then is a break of these last highs up here at 84.6 and to get up over 85. This is the range we've kind of been in for the last few days, is between 82 and 85, minus a little bit of a uptick from the Trump news. This is our range for a little bit, right? Yeah, we still got this double bottom here. I'm going to move it to the 6-hour chart because it's a little bit easier to see over here, actually. There's the one bottom, there's the other bottom, and if it moved up, completed its move, it would move up to about there. And if we did the extended move on it, we take from the bottom to the middle, we'll take a conservative extension, and we move it to the shoulder line, and that would get us up to about 93,000. We're going to get rid of this here on the 90-minute chart because it's just kind of cluttering things up a little bit. Okay, let's move this little measure, move over a bit to this breakout point. Where does it lead us? 77, right down to March lows, where we don't want to go, but if we are, that's our last and final chance to bounce and not, trace this bear flag's measured move all the way down. Hopefully it happens. Let's see. 6-hour Stokes pointing to the downside, going lower, got rejected at the 50, could not break into bullish territory. If we can see these ones turn around on this 90, then we could possibly see these ones turn around here as well, forming a little double bottom here on the Stokes as well then. RSI moving up, looking like it wants to get over that signal line and push up. Any good news will push us up. Look at that. We are seeing higher lows here on the RSI versus here on the price action. That's a technical divergence. Look at that. These are basically flat here. Even if you count the wicks, they're flat. If you want to count the wicks, it's basically flat. Whereas here we're seeing some real nice upside from the bottoms. So what does that tell us? That tells us a divergence. There might actually be a little more upside coming. Maybe. Now, we're not gonna, like we've talked about before, this bear flag doesn't get invalidated until 90,000 is crossed. So hopefully that upside can get us up that high. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. Currently, we're under the 200 on the daily, on the 90, on the 6-hour, on the 22. On the 22. Kind of got rejected just now by the 200. The 5 minute under the 200. So these are all bearish signs being under the 200. The 1 minute looks like it wants to come up. We're seeing a bullish divergence here on the 1 minute, followed by bullish confluence or continuation, whatever you want to call it. So let's see if the 1 minute can get up over its 200 again. If it can, that might draw the 5 minute up to its 200. I should make this bigger in case y'all are on your phone or something. But yeah, that could drive the 5 minute up over its 200, this purple line. Stokes are high here though. That could indicate some more downside than 5, or it could get stuck up there. It's kind of been stuck up there for a little bit. See if the 1 minute RSI has moved into bullish territory. That's good. It's kind of holding up there. Has tested that 50 line a couple of times, right here and right there. Continues to move up. That's good. Let's see if it can break over that 200. If it can break over the 200, then today has a chance of moving up. But otherwise, we're looking at everything under. 22 minute Stokes are pointing to the upside too. That's good. Just got to get these the RSI over its signal line, and then put in a higher high in bullish territory, and we could maybe see our way up over 85 today. We could. There's a chance. There's a chance on the lower time scales, but those lower ones are noisy. They move around quite a bit. They say a lot. So we're watching for pensive bullishness today. Same as yesterday. Not much has changed. So let me just real quick, I guess, go over like a projection. Let's do a projection. Where do I see Bitcoin going? Let's get rid of these. Support and resistances for a minute. Where's my object tree? It's not coming up. That's weird. All right, don't mind all the yellow lines for now. So with these yellows, with the yellows there, right? We'll just ignore them. Where is my long-term projection for Bitcoin? Let's take a quick peek at, like, you know, the whole of it. Let's do it on let's just look at it in 2 months. 2 month scale, or a 2 month candle. So here's the Bitcoin chart on a 2 month 2 months, right? Where is it going? It's going up and to the right. So if you're in it just to make money, then hell yeah. Let's just project a line here, okay? Let's go from the peak here in 2018, 2017, through the peak here at 2021, right? And we can project a line kind of like that. We can just extend it out. Extend right. All right. So where is that? The top's taking us, right? If we went in a straight line, then let me add another song real quick. About you. All right. So okay. Sorry about that. Let's go back to this. So we're projecting this line out, right? Let's look at how price action behaved in a similar way, but not from 2017 through 2021, but 2013 through 2021. So let's start here at the peak of 2013, and let's zoom back out, pop that over here to the peak of 2017, and let's take a look at where that line is going. So you notice that line came a little short on the peak here for 2021, right? How much higher did we get? Let's take a quick little measurement. How much higher did we get from where here to the peak here? 94%. So we got an extra almost 100% after that. So let's see where would this cross that same line and then give us a peak? I'm just saying, where can we maybe get to this cycle if the cycle isn't over? So let's say we move up a little more, we cross the line here. Let's just say here, if we would have crossed, we would have gotten to 116. We still may. Another 100% up from that. You can do the math. It's 230, but put it up here anyway. Right? So 230, maybe. Although the law of diminishing returns says that we don't get as big of a pump each time. And that's true, we don't. So, possibly we get up that high. Possibly we don't. But, where does that take us for, let's say 2028 cycle? We'll take the high here. And we'll move it through. Let's say this is the high, right? It wouldn't fit the same narrative as the rest because the lines aren't moving up. That's why maybe, just maybe, we're gonna go a little higher still. Here, maybe, and the lines just line up. I think we're gonna stop around 150, law of diminishing returns, but we can do 160 just for our little estimate here. This is all projection. Now 2028 would be here, so let's say we cross that line in 2028 and give us another 100% gain above it. 437, almost 500,000 by the next cycle if things repeat itself. And that's even with like diminishing returns, because see how the angle here is smaller than or bigger than the angle here. So then let's say that the top does become, let's say 400,000. We never make it up as high. Let's say 380. We never make it as high as we think we will. And let's say that the top was what here? We said 150. So we'll take another line. We'll go from 150 to about, let's say 372. Even though that's kind of makes it a little, I think it might come down lower, man. If we're doing diminishing returns, and it might not get any higher than 250 in there. But let's say it gets higher. Let's just say it does. Why? Because demand keeps growing, but the supply stays the same. Let's say demand just outpaces everything. Well, then by 2032, the 2032 bull cycle, we should be crossing 683. And if the 100% thing still holds true, well, 1.2 million by 2032. So yeah, long-term projections. I think by the time we get out of this decade and into the next, Bitcoin will be worth over $1 million. So that's why I'm stacking Bitcoin. I'm not selling any of it, just stacking it. Every dip is a buying opportunity, but you got to be careful because, you don't want to catch a falling knife. It's better to buy more down near the bottom than to keep buying it as it's dropping in price. So like, for instance, let me just come back here. It's better to buy a lot more here than to buy every dip here within these things, because you'll get a lot more Bitcoin. But since we don't know that the bull run here is over yet, it is kind of good to snag up some on the dips. Not a ton. Keep dry powder for the bear market. If this is the top, then in 1 year, that's when the bottom will be. About 1 year later is the bottoms. So about a year later from now, you want to have some dry powder to be buying here, not here. But just in case we do cross this line and go another 100 over up to the 200 range, well, maybe allocate a little bit to be buying during dips here and now. But not financial advice, of course. Do what you will with your own money. I'm just an idiot on the internet. But thank you for watching. Music has been provided by Luminist, Veloa, and Sax Squatch. You guys are awesome. Much love. See you later.